rolling. Be cool.
Be cool, man.
Hey!
Hey!
Hi!
Mariah. Hello.
Hello. Here we are.
What's happening?
It's a gray day, and we're enjoying some tea.
Yes, peppermint tea is
A
lovely.
little aroma therapy.
Yeah, it really does smell so.
Doesn't it smell nice?
It's like it smells cozy.
I don't even need to drink it. I just like to hold the mug and smell it.
I've had many cups of tea that I've never drank.
Yeah,
but it's just the process of making it and then holding it and feeling
looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, you ready for another letter to the Snappers?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Ask the Snappers.
Who knew there were so many questions that needed answering?
So many burning questions.
Love it.
Ask the Snappers.
Okay.
So
It's very exciting.
I know.
So you haven't read this question either, then?
I don't know.
All right.
Oh, let me put my glasses on.
Please.
So I can see it. Dear Snappers, I'm having a hard time deciding on whether or not to do a first look. I really want the first time he sees me to be coming down the aisle.
Traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to miss the cocktail hour because we're taking photos. What do you think? Sincerely, Traditional in Tiverton.
Oh. Well, this is a question that we hear often.
Yes, it's a very common question.
And it's sort of like wanting your cake and eat it too a little bit.
Well, yes, because
or is it?
Well, I like cake.
I do
I'm all
too.
about cake.
Let's eat cake.
But-
Cake would go nicely with tea. Excuse me.
The problem, well, there's some variables.
All right.
If you have a lot of time, if you have more than, so traditionally, there's a few different ways it happens. If you have the ceremony and then the cocktail hour right afterwards, say you're at one location, the ceremony happens, cocktail hour.
Flowing right in.
You have 1 hour for cocktail hour.
Right.
Then you go into the reception. If you don't do a first look, that hour is your only time to do the pictures that have both of you in them, which are the bridal party, the family, each family, and the two of you, which is really important. That's the most important.
And often when we're in a crunch, because we only have that hour and we're trying to get you to your cocktail hour to enjoy like maybe 15 minutes of it. So now we've only got 45 minutes.
Right.
Those get left to last.
Right.
And then they're kind of hurried and rushed and
Now, if you have...
they are the most important.
If you have only a couple people in your bridal party and you have a really small family...
Right.
It could be done. You could do 15 minutes of family and wedding party and then 15 minutes of bride and groom.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all up to the couple, in terms of what they want to get out of it. In terms of, do they want to get different spots around their venue?
Right.
Do they want to go to different locations? Do they want to have a lot of creative shots and like a lot of romance? Or they just want to have a handful of like really nice pictures?
Like solid photos, right.
I mean, we can do it like that. But we can also do it where we spend an hour with just the bride and groom, doing all kinds of cool stuff.
Right.
So it's not that one's better than the other. It's just a very different vibe.
Well, you have to know, like, what you're putting in is what you're getting out. So
Right.
if you're only putting in a half an hour, 45 minutes, then you're getting out. What you're getting out of it is more basic.
Yes, and a lot of times people are stressed during that session because cocktail hour is happening and they can see people and they want to be done.
Yeah.
And so sometimes the facial expressions are not ideal.
Right.
Because you're like, and it's even happened that people have bonked out and been like, I'm done, and
They walked away. Bye.
Which is really, I mean,
that's
that
horrifying
makes me
if
really
we
upset.
haven't gotten to their photos yet.
Well, then now I'm in a panic.
Yeah, that's bad news.
Because I can't leave.
No.
Until I've got
Well, that's basically what, if I have a wedding nightmare, that's my wedding nightmare.
Yeah.
Like the day is almost over, the natural light of the day is almost gone, and there's no pictures of the couple together.
Yeah.
So let's not have that happen.
That being said, if you do an hour and a half cocktail hour,
I was just going to say that is the way
to
get around it.
That's that's having both.
Right.
You could do 45 minutes or so of photos.
Yep.
We work pretty quickly with the wedding party and the family, and if we do it like in a space that's a little bit separated from where the cocktail hour is,
right?
If you're anywhere near guests, they're gonna mob you.
You need like a barrier,
so
even if it's just like distance,
just off to the side a little bit. Anyway, if you do an hour and a half, you could do half that time with photos, or even if you did an hour, you still have a full half an hour of cocktail hour.
Yeah.
So that would be a way
That's
to do.
plenty of cocktail hour.
That would be a way
Chit
to do
chat,
both.
hors d'oeuvres, cocktail. and you
How
go.
many times have people said to us at the end? We'll be doing photos during the
Yeah.
cocktail hour. How many times have people said to us at the end of the photo session, "Do I have to go to
Yeah,
cocktail
that's
hour?
for our introverts.
Can I hang
our
out with you
introverts
guys?"
are happier to be to be looking at the cocktail
lot of
hour
people
from
have said that.
from a distance.
Well, I don't even know if they're introverts as much as they're just completely overwhelmed by the amount of people and the
Yes.
energy of the people.
And
is
thinking
a
about
lot.
walking over there and talking to everyone that's standing there.
And it's a lot.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a really big family
Mm-hmm.
and you have a big wedding party
Yeah.
and you want to do a lot of bride and groom couples shots, here, there, and everywhere, you kind of need to do the first. Well, if you don't have that time,
Right.
the first look is
That's the only way to do it.
it's critical.
Yeah.
If you want to go to the entire cocktail hour, you also need to do a first look.
Yes.
We can get, okay, so she was saying that she wants the first time he sees her to be walking down the aisle, but I kind of see it as getting 2 first looks.
Well, that's a very optimistic and
because-
diplomatic way to think about it.
But we've done so many weddings we've done where people have spent a couple hours together.
Yeah.
Then the
This
bride's
is
walking
true.
down the aisle and the groom's crying his eyes out.
It's true.
And it's like, but you were just with her for 2 hours.
Yeah. It's different.
It's still emotional.
It's different because then all of the people are there, the music is playing, the moment is dramatic. So it is still special.
It totally
Even
is.
if you've
I
already
don't think it
spent-
takes away from it. I really don't.
I don't either.
Because it's totally different.
Yeah.
Your first look, is totally different than the church or the aisle or wherever the ceremony is.
Right.
It's a different location. Usually it's just the 2 of you. It's very quiet.
Right.
It's
Quells
just a
the
very,
nerves.
if you're nervous,
Yeah,
it's definitely
it's nice.
a good way to kind of get over that, see each other.
Yeah.
And you just get that much more time. I feel you're extending the day by 2 hours or whatever.
I understand where people are coming from, and I understand wanting that traditional moment. Like
Yeah.
I talked to a bride yesterday on the phone, and they didn't want to do the first
Yeah.
look, but she also had like an hour and a half in between the ceremony and the
Oh,
reception.
well,
so
that's-
it's like
that's even
of
that- that's
course.
even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times if
It's
it's
a
a
church-
church,
right, it's a church
because the church
ceremony.
has to do it earlier in the day, and the reception is usually later in the day. So if you've got a gap,
Yeah.
no problem.
You're golden. Then you
No
really
problem.
can have your cake and eat it.
Then
too.
you can do whatever you want. You can do everything.
Eat that cake.
Yep. And if you are not doing a first look, but you need to conserve time, one of the things that we can do is all the photos that don't include the 2 of you together.
Oh yeah, that's a good tip.
So we could do, bride and all the bridesmaids, parents, individuals, a portrait,
Right.
get all that done, and then the same thing for the groom,
Yeah. Or bride.
bride or bride, groom,
Groom.
whoever's.
Yeah.
Each
Each couple.
each half of the couple.
Each half of the couple. Yeah.
So that way, all those photos don't need to be done again.
Right.
So we've gotten a whole chunk, and then after the ceremony, we just do all the pictures that just include the 2 together.
Right.
So that's one way. I feel like there's ways to work around it.
There are.
But like I said, the first look does have its advantages with just having more time and being relaxed. That's the only thing going on
Yeah.
if it's before the ceremony.
I
So you're
guess
not missing anything.
from our personal experience, we've never had anyone who felt sad that they went.
No.
That they did it. It's always been the opposite. Like, oh, I'm glad, so glad we did that.
Yes.
So it's something to think about.
Well,
Something to
interestingly,
consider.
too, I've found a lot of times it's the grooms that want the traditional moment. And the
Yeah.
bride's being really practical, and she's
Yeah.
like, we need to do the first look because of timing and all that.
Yeah. It's 50-50 that
Yeah.
people agree on it or disagree on it.
Yeah. But I think you have to be realistic
Mm-hmm.
about your timing and what you can do and how many people you have and all that
It
jazz.
takes longer than you think it does to do the pictures. And
And
the
if you-
more combinations and iterations of people that you add to that list, the longer that it takes.
Well, that's the other part, too. You can keep it really simple.
Yeah. I prefer that.
You can
Let's
keep
keep
it
it
simple
simple.
so you only
Get
have...
everybody accounted for, but not all these different groupings. That's when you start to bonk out.
It does get a little...
Yeah.
It can get... It's a tricky thing because you think you need to do everything, but in the end, you don't
Yeah.
really need all that.
Yeah.
You know?
You won't end up putting all of that.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple. That's best. So you can enjoy your day. You can enjoy the real part of it. The action.
Absolutely.
The action.
Absolutely. The other thing to think about too is if you want to do extended family photos or any kind of group photos during the cocktail hour,
Yeah.
like sometimes it's 4 large groups.
Yeah.
It's each parent's extended
Right.
family, aunts, uncles,
That
cousins,
takes 5 or so minutes a piece to do.
grandparents, and that takes a little
Or
bit to
more.
get everybody together.
Yeah.
If you have a
There's
group
always
of
somebody
friends,
missing. Yeah.
anything like that. So if you want to use the cocktail hour to be part of it and be doing photos too, that's something to consider.
Yeah.
Because those are really hard to do during the reception.
Yeah.
Once dancing starts, you can forget trying to get people together.
Yeah.
They're not having it.
No, they're sweating and dancing and having a good time, which is what you want. You have a band or a DJ
I
there playing fun
know.
music. You don't want to be doing photos at that point.
It's a real balance between things that you want to do, have to do, and then having fun, which is the whole point of the whole thing.
Yeah. I like to look over and see people having fun.
Yeah. I think the bride and groom want everybody to have fun too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're inviting people to your wedding, and I've never heard any couple ever say, well, I don't care if people have fun.
I think that's the whole.
I mean,
That's the
every
whole
single
point.
person has said, I just want people to have a good time. I'm
Yeah.
so worried that people won't have fun. That's
Yeah.
that's the one thing everybody cares about. That's
Yeah.
why you're picking the menu and,
Yeah.
and the music, and you're trying to put it all together. So
Well, we want people to have fun too, and we want the pictures to be a fun part.
I don't think the couple should exclude themselves from having fun,
No.
because sometimes I think that's what happens. They're worried about everybody else having fun, but then they're not having fun.
Yeah. That is sad. I don't like that.
So yeah, first look is it's all relative. There's a lot of factors to factor in
Yeah.
as to whether you should do it or not.
Yeah.
And how you want your day to go.
It's just more time to get to be in your dress.
That's
or
how
your
I feel.
tux or whatever it is you're wearing.
That's how I feel. I
So,
would want to maximize
Let's extend that day. Let's do it.
Absolutely. I'm all about it.
All right. Be cool, man.
Yeah, be cool. Man. All
Cheers.
right. Thanks for writing in.
Yeah, and if anybody else has a question, you know where to find us. You can snail mail it, like the old days, or you can email us.
Yes.
So we look forward to hearing your questions.
Yeah, please do. We'd love
Yeah.
to hear what kind of burning questions you all have.
We sure do.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Ow.